Thank you for joining us, Sunday School teacher, as we look into God's Word. This lesson is for Sunday, August the 10th. And I thank you for being with us as we look into God's Word. Again, I've been praying for your class, and I hope that you're growing as a class with new members, and also that your class is growing spiritually. We're continuing in our series of resilient faith, looking at 1 Peter. We're in chapter 4 for this lesson. The title of this lesson is Joyful Faith. Choose joy even in life's difficulties. The point for this lesson is choose joy even in life's difficulties. Let me ask you a question. What turns a good day into a terrible day? What would cause you to say, boy, this was a good day until this happened? Well, more than likely that whatever it is that you would say this is what made it a terrible day was some type of a surprise. Something that you had not planned on happening, something that was not on your calendar or in your day timer. But it was a surprise. I could ask right the opposite of question. What was it that took a terrible day and made it a good day? It may have been a surprise that caused your day to go from being a bad day to a good day. You see, surprises can be good or bad. But we've got to remember that surprises will happen in this life. This study today helps us know how we can have joy even in the middle of life's surprises, even when they're bad surprises. So let's look at these verses that Peter gives to us. 1 Peter chapter 4, we'll start in verse 12. He says, "Dear friends, when the fiery ordeal arises among you to test you, don't be surprised by it, as if something unusual were happening to you. Instead, as you share in the sufferings of the Messiah, rejoice so that you may also rejoice with the same sufferings." The great joy at the revelation of His glory. If you are ridiculed for the name of Christ, you are blessed, because the Spirit of glory and of God rests on you. None of you, however, should suffer as a murderer, a thief, an evildoer, or as a meddler. But if anyone suffers as a Christian, he should not be ashamed, but should glorify God with that name. For the time has come for judgment to begin with God's household. And if it begins with us, what will the outcome be for those who disobey the gospel of God? For if the righteous is saved with difficulty, what will become of the ungodly and the sinner? In these several verses, Peter speaks to us that we should not consider it strange or out of place. When suffering comes into our life, we shouldn't be surprised. I would like to say two things there. In your life, when those difficulties come, don't be surprised. It's part of life. It's a part of being a Christian. And second, as difficulties come in the lives of others, let's not look down our nose in judgment on those people and say, oh, well, the reason that bad is happening in their life is because they must have done something really bad. No, difficulties can be just a part of life. In this verse, these verses that we read, Peter uses the term fiery to introduce the purpose of the difficulties. The purpose of difficulties and the things that we face, the purpose of those difficulties is to make us more like Christ. To chisel off